What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dark Professor Dark Joker with this week's video. This week will be a One Piece theory video, and this theory will be about what I think is the secret origins of the Devil Fruits, like some of their secret history regarding how they came to be. Yeah, we'll go over, why they were created, what we do know about them, and what I think is the truth about them. So, with all that being said, on with the video. First off, let's go over what we know about devil fruits. So we know that devil fruits give people superpowers, but in exchange, they take away, the user's ability to swim. So yeah. So basically, if you get a devil fruit, you get, superpowers and sometimes very, very effective ones. But they can't swim. A lot of times, the not swim part's used for comedic effect, but also to give stakes. But I mean, with how good some of those superpowers are, it's almost kind of worth it. Even though you're in a basically an ocean world where if you're sailing the seas, not swimming kind of sucks. Anyway, so one thing about Devil Fruits is that only one Devil Fruit can be used per user. Like generally, now Marshall D. Teach, aka Blackbeard, was a notable exception to that. Now, for whatever reason, who knows? Obviously, you have the theory about him having two hearts, with one of the hearts being his father, Davy D. Zebek. Yes, it's not Rox D. Zebek, it's Davy D. Zebek. Spoilers for the manga. And yeah, so as far as the three types of fruits, we know you have Paramecia, Devil fruits. They allow users to change their body or environment, or they can generate a substance. Basically, like there are a lot of variety in how the Paramecia Devil fruits can operate. And of course, you have the zone devil fruits that allow users to transform different types of animals. With, of course, you have, like Chopper having the human fruit. You have, Lucci having the cat fruit. It was cat fruit model cheetah. That was what his was called. And of course, you have your mythical zones, which of course is like a lot of your more ancient and mythological creatures like Kaido with the dragon, and well, Mimosa K was an artificial recreation of Kaido's, Devil Fruit, which Vegapunk considered a failure because it was a different color. So that bit was funny. And of course, you have Logia Devil Fruits, which are considered to be the most powerful. They allow users to transform different elements, and the reason they're considered the most powerful is because, basically, when the user transforms their body to a different element, it allows like projectiles and like blunt objects to like pass through. So it basically, unless like someone's using hockey, they can basically avoid damage. Like that is a now if something now outside of hockey, it could be something where it's like and basically overpowers like someone's natural element. Like of course with Luffy being made out of rubber, he was able to basically be effective against you know Inel's lightning body because the Sky Islands did not have rubber, so no one knew that something could counteract lightning, which is how Luffy was able to attack Enel. But generally, Logia fruits are the ones people want the most because of their high defense capabilities, along with, of course, their high, power like strength capabilities. With like especially the flame fruit that notably Ace, may he rest in peace, and Sabo have used. How powerful that thing was. Now I'm gonna go over to the actual theory regarding this. So One of the more prevailing theories, which I agree with about the Devil fruits, is that they were created by the Great Kingdom during the Void Century. Now, what I think is the case is that they are actually not devil fruits. They are god fruits. So, of course, if you saw the big painting on Elbaf in the manga, a lot of the lore, there were three cataclysms. Well, two previously, one like in ancient times, one during like I guess the Void Century, during like near the end, and then there's a third one that's on the way. And now, why they have it at the Great Kingdom, they created these god fruits because they wanted to mimic the abilities of the different deities from the time period of the first cataclysm. So that's how we get, the human fruit model Nika, because it was based off the sun god Nika. And so whatever happened in the first cataclysm, that basically I guess eliminated a lot of the gods. Basically, we know that like well, so the Devil fruits were made to copy their abilities. Now I don't know how much of the ancient time period is going to be covered. Now Void Century that will be covered. That I can basically guarantee that is going to be covered. Now, as far as devil fruit, I would say there is only one actual devil fruit, and that is Emu's fruit. Basically, Emu had the devil fruit created in order to counteract the god fruits. Now, this is of course assuming Emu is actually Saint Emu of House Nerona from the founding 20 from the end of Void Century, which based on what we know, it is likely to be the case. But this theory right I have in this video is assuming that bit of lore is true. And so basically he has the Delver. And one of the things that can be associated with him is that he makes the five elders and the god knights into his familiars, which is how he's able to like possess Gunko. How and it's probably how he's able to sense Joy Boy's hockey from Egghead. Is that he was like that, and maybe that Joy Boy's hockey is just that powerful, but also sensing it through the five elders during the Battle of Egghead. And of course the God Knights are his familiars, which is how he's able to communicate with them and then take over Gunko's body. So yeah, and basically I guess that I would say is how he became. It also could explain how he becomes the sole ruler of the world government. He turns people into familiar. He turned like I guess different celestial dragons into familiars to basically gain control. Now, and what they have to say after the Great War is that the God fruits were then publicly called devil fruits to give them and their creators, which was the Great Kingdom, a negative reputation. Because devil, we associate devil with evil, as we should. As we should. I mean, the devil is called the great deceiver, the enemy, in in religion, in the Bible. So, calling something that's associated with I guess gods, calling it like devils, like so calling God fruits devil fruits could give them a negative reputation. Now a lot of people still use it because use them because they're superpowers anyway, so we're like, okay, whatever, we'll still use them. But it is meant, I believe, the term was meant to give the Great Kingdom a negative reputation. As they were, the world government was trying to erase the history of the Great Kingdom to basically cement control over the world. And probably as some of the ones who do know about the third cataclysm prepare for that one. So yeah, I think that basically all of the reason they're called Delphers, the reason like how they were created, basically the Great Kingdom after losing, they basically Their creation was taken advantage of by Emu and the world government. And that's it. Do you all agree with this theory? Do you disagree with this theory? Do you like this video? Dislike this video? You can put all that in the comments and all that. You know, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And look forward to the next video.